Elevate, I see them winning this game. Last game, it would have been perfect because you had CERN in the Hunter role. Very predictable dash.
Yeah.
You get his beads out a little bit. Hebo comes over to the lane. Neath shoots over an arrow that's going to take out half of his health. That guy's dead instantly.
So you're suggesting the Habwa jungle?
Yes.
Habwa jungle, yes. That's Dr. L's god, too. And it takes away... Unri has a really... Or Delta Marine, now he's known as, has an amazing Hebo. So now you're effectively taking away one of the better mages for them, putting it on your squad, and it's in the jungle. And like I said, Mythic's Neath mid, it's extremely potent. Not a lot of mids can run Neath mid the way he does.
Well, when it comes to this first pick selection, because Elevate's kind of been sitting on it, do we see any priority pick Hu Yi coming through maybe for either of these teams?
Could be. I mean, Cameron went with the Chronos last game and honestly played it pretty well, but it's going to be the AMC early on here. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Cameron played this in a game and had not his best performance. It was ugly.
We've faced... this is an inside strat on them, but we've faced them. They've both ran it. I think Mythic runs it better, but this again goes down to the fact that if they, in my opinion, they do run the Neath Hebo still. I would just go back to it because if you look at it, Obey didn't either they didn't see it yesterday or they're not respecting it enough.
Well, I like the Xing Chen Soul here for Obey. If I'm elevating, I'm thinking about that composition. I think my two picks here are Hebo and Fafnir, because even if it's Neath is important, so maybe you do need the Neath right here alongside of it. Exactly. I don't think she's going to get banned, and Fafnir with that double hunter is critical to making that composition work. You could also take something like an RTO for the Soul lane if you want to commit to the triple magical all across the map outside of your two hunters. I think that could work out pretty well. But with the Odin ban by Elevate at the beginning of this pick ban phase, I wouldn't be too surprised if they go back to the Guan Yu, because that was the real shutdown factor for that support warrior.
Odin just really shuts down Ardio, and those my boys. Honestly, Odin shuts down Ardio, shuts down Guan Yu to an extreme, and then they're going with it. Look, this is. They have their picks. I shouldn't be saying some of the stuff I'm saying probably because I'm not even hearing the crowd over there. They're like, he's giving away everything. It's like, all right, well, my bad.
Well, they did it anyway, so you're good. If they wouldn't have picked it, then you get in trouble.
That might be hooking them up. Obey's going to be very angry at me.
Honestly, it just makes you look like a god tier analyst. That's the most important part. That's what we bring you here for.
Chach the Prophet.
So, okay, so Chachi, you've already got the Habwa, the Neath. What's coming up next?
They are going to round out the comp. It's something that...
Fafnir.
Yeah.
Fafnir. Why would they ban it?
It's their pick, though, for Obey.
Yeah,
there's no way.
That's what I'm saying. Of course they pick it here. It's
I was more talking about Elevate. If that got through somehow, I was hoping Elevate would just snap, just ban. Don't want to see that again.
Obey. Yeah, of course Obey's going to take the first.
Yeah, that's without a doubt. I think for Elevate, they should really be looking, as far as banning now, again, this is Soul going to... Soul's 100% going to Unri, right? Or Delta Marine. So in this case, you have Ho Yi still open. Zaxi has a mean Ho Yi. Let's get that right off the board. So I'm looking forward to Elevate doing that. Ganesh banned. It's actually a really good ban because I was going to suggest for Elevate with that comp, they're going to be looking at Ganesh. They'll be looking at Geb. They'll be looking at Khepri. They're going to need a really good defensive support to support the Hebo, Neath, Muzenkov.
Khepri, something we haven't seen a lot of as of late, but I completely agree with you. I think that would be a strong pick for them. If I'm Obey, I think the Geb ban is probably in the right idea. Kenshin has a strong Geb and has been around a long time. I like the Ratatosker ban, again, aimed at Mifflin for Obey, who have not really worked on prioritizing his gods in the jungle, but if he plays like he did on the Odin, doesn't end up coming back to bite Obey too much.
I think that Kenshin also has a pretty sick Khepri. It's been a long time since Khepri's really had any top tier utility. He's not really a favored god right now, and I'm actually surprised to see a Geb selection taking priority. Bertacho, you're a support player. What caused this kind of shift?
Well, if Dr. L, I can tell you from, yesterday even just watching that set, Dr. L as a Hebo jungle is going to dictate the pace in the team fight. He's going to be the one that's going to say, hey, I'm going on this guy right now. When you have Geb a lot of times is one of the few supports right now that will go first active blink.
Yeah.
So now if Hebo goes in like that, they try and collapse on him, you blink Cataclysm 3-4 people, that's a win team fight instantly right there.
If I'm Obey, I'm looking at a jungler that gives me some CC because I don't want to allow this Hebo to pick up blink at level 1. I want to force him into purification beads that significantly shuts down what he can do offensively. He has to get to you if he wants to hit you with that crushing wave. So I think that something along the lines of, Hunbats hasn't been seen a lot. Mollis tried to play it yesterday, not much success. Robin is a good pick here. I think that this is a pick that can pressure out this Hebo. You can use that overhead kick to immune that knockup from Hebo. And this is, now, if he falls behind, Mifflin becomes really useless really early. But if he can get ahead, this Hebo's going to have a tough time.
I was about to say, I think Robin's Mifflin-esque, right?
Yes.
That is literally his style. He's now going to be able to go into your jungle, say, hey, I want your jungle, and I'm going to take it.
Mifflin ruins mages better than most, and I can tell you that firsthand. I mean, how many times did I scream for help against those dudes back when we were playing? I mean, Robin is perfect, especially against Neith. I mean, Robin ult is not the biggest targeter in the world. It's a fairly small skill shot. Neith is very predictable where she's landing with backflip, and Robin ult pays big dividends whenever you can connect. I think that he might be looking at Mythic in that mid lane a lot.
I don't think anything screams Flavor Town more than Kumbhakarna, because this is actually insane to me that they're just straight up dropping the Kumba in this.
Do you like this pick, the Kumba here for this particular matchup? I'm not sure I'm in love with it.
He has extreme CC. We were just talking about that. Would be cool if they add some CC duration stat, because Kumba would probably be right up there. But I don't know if I necessarily like that, just because you have. Neith can kind of protect herself. We said it's a predictable backflip, but at least she has that, right? Hebo's an all-in jungle. He's not going to have an escape after he goes in. A Muzenkop's going to get Dove, because that's what every team does. And now they have the Isn't oof. I don't know. I don't know if I like the Kumba pick that much anymore.
I think Khepri ends up being a lot better for them here in this pick. So, but the Kumba can end up working out a little bit more damage, but I mean, you look at AMC, Hebo, Neith, and even Hercules, you're not asking for more damage. That's not what this team comp is lacking. It's lacking protection. It's lacking defensiveness. And I just wonder, I mean, Kumba can play that role. Yeah. It's just a matter of how Kenshin is going to play it.
It's just that leaving Kumba to be the sole CC, like hard form of CC, it's just going to make things incredibly complicated, I feel. If the Habwa and the Neith do not have a top or perfect execution, it's probably going to turn every single time in Obey's favor.
I have one really good note to say, right? Kumbhakarna can't go Bluestone Boombas.
That's right. He's got to go Watchers now, right?
There's that.
He's going to go Santa Time. He's going to get
It'll
that.
be Santa Time. He's got to get that 10%
If he
cooldown
does
reduction.
that, I will rage
Dude,
in the
You're
crowd.
going to see him in the player cam just like shaking Kenshin from behind.
What are you doing?
It'll be the value of MP5. But taking a look at these two drafts, I got to hear it still. Josh, who do you have?
This one, honestly, that Elevate, that's a comp that they can win with. The first comp I didn't agree with, but this one I could see them winning.
Soul Fafnir, I still like Obey's comp, but Zaxi needs to be more conservative in that lane. He's gotten caught too many times. Izanami's easy to get too pushed up on because of how good her clear is.
Well, it's going to be interesting to find out whether or not Elevate are going to be able to fight back one more time, just like yesterday, or if Obey are going to close the set out 2-0. Casters, it's your time to shine.
Thanks a lot, Desk. Tom still here with Toli. I've got one question for you, Anatoly.
What's that, Tom?
What do you call Kenshin with a speed buff?
What do you call Kenshin?
Kumbhakarna. Love it. That's why Elevate's going to win. Well, here we go. Okay, fine. I'll move back.
I'm back.
Anyway, Elevate with a better draft. I do agree with the Desk on that one. Last time around probably wasn't their forte. This time, however, I like what I'm seeing. And, you know, we heard the Desk talk about how, sure, I think Khepri would have been a better pick here, but the just raw amount of CC that Kumbhakarna brings is a lot for a team that needs a lot of peel.
And not only that, like, besides the CC, besides the slows, the damage that he brings to you, now there's a baiting factor where even if after all that hard work and effort you spent to kill this Kumbhakarna, well, guess what? There's the passive that you have to get through.
Yeah, and Kumba's going to be tough to kill, but again, I'm still looking on the other side of things. Cameron by himself clearing out this back camp. Obey not going to really tussle with him too much, but oh, the miss by Nexa miss.
That's
what
a
a fantastic
problem.
game.
Level 1 Xing Chen can't get away. That's the problem with Hand of the Gods. You don't have that defensive option. You don't have Shell to get an extra health shield. You don't have Sprint to walk away. And not only that, there's that perfect route from Mythic that just keeps you locked down.
Cameron's in trouble here. He's actually going to be poked out just a little bit. And Obey able to steal away the red buff. First blood does go on the support. The Kumbhakarna.
The Kumbhakarna getting the first blood. It's
well,
not.
He's not that fast yet.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. He didn't. See, they didn't give the speed buff to Kenshin. That was the problem.
I mean, he's just, all he has is, he doesn't even have boots. He has Watcher's Gift and a mask. I guess you call him Kumbhakarna.
That's just too much for me to handle right now, Tom. I'm like trying to like rhyme with Arna here.
No.
And it's just like, no. I mean, never gonna happen.
No, it's not gonna happen. You gotta focus on the first part of the word. Elevate focusing on the first part of the game here with the first blood. Able to find themselves a little bit ahead, but nothing to hang their hat on just yet. Big eyes on this jungle Habwa.
And that's something Dr. L really likes to do. We saw him do it yesterday, where he was able to, you know, find the victory against Strictly Business, doing a good job with that jungle Habwa, creating confusion, actually, as to where that Habwa was going to go originally. But after seeing last game, or yesterday's games, rather, Obey Alliance came prepared here. They're going to be able to kind of try to lock him down with the amount of control that they have with Dworst alone and Mifflin diving that backline. But great peels from Kenshin, you know, there's two different ways to play this Kumbhakarna. You could play aggressively, set up your teammates, or you could just sit in the back line, anyone goes on them, yawn.
There you go.
That's it.
A lot of peel, a lot of setup. Multifaceted character for sure. You know what's interesting? I am the biggest fan of Mage Jungle, Habwa specifically, some other choices as well, simply because I think the gank ability is fantastic, and I think that having a Mage late game is pretty much very similar to having an Assassin late game, just blow up ability. However, one of the downsides to Mage Jungle, Tolly, is how easily they are invaded and punished. And right now, if you want to say anything that describes our meta, it's invasion.
Well, as long as you have the numbers, Elevate doesn't have to worry about the invades because they're the ones bringing the invade to you instead. Okay. Neith is almost forgotten about how powerful she is about invades because of the soft CC that she brings with the root. It's not a stun, you know, it's not a taunt that your typical CCs are, but it's a long duration to keep you locked down in place. And level 1 and 2, before some people are actually, some gods rather, are maxing out their escape abilities, you're able to, you know, find that early kill, and that's exactly what happened as Dworst was the first victim.
Yeah, I like that. You said escape abilities. Abilities that bring escape. Your escape ability is directly related to your escape abilities.
There's going to be no escape if this Neith ultimate hits on whoever Dr. L wants to go on, and Obey Alliance are looking to still try to defend their speed buff.
And it's Jelly. He's going to go and transform. Nice driving strike Neximus uses to get out of the nonsense and also find the kill onto the speed buff with help from the ultimate. Kenshin tossing one to the sky. Knock up. Everybody looking at Dr. L. Got to find an exit on the left-hand side, and he will. Neximus, however, surrounded by members. Kenshin here trying to play defense.
Cannot let this go. Neximus taking a lot of damage from the Supernova backflip from Mythic.
Oh, the long-range shot. Delta Marine finds the kill. Totally, you brought it up. Mythic finds the slow. Really big help, but just not enough.
Not quite enough. There's too many ultimates being used by Elevate to get that speed buff. The boulder from Neximus to secure it. Dr. L had to use his ultimate defensively to escape. Mythic's ultimate was used onto Mifflin, but he overhead kicked it just in the nick of time, and nobody was, as a result, body blocked by the stun Ravana.
Yeah, and that's sort of the issue that I was talking about. Is Habwa right now, nothing. He's not really doing much damage. If you're able to find a knock-up and maybe 3 water cannons, you're doing something. But you're pre-boots at this point. You're not able to really bring a lot to the party. So, you know, at this moment, Dr. L not really providing much by way of damage.
A little bit of action here already 5 minutes in, mostly around Obey Alliance's speed buff. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's where the action is still going to be onto. The speed buff has been the focus point on a lot of different teams.
I mean, that's the jungle favorite, right? The old reliable. You want to look towards that speed buff almost all the time. Jelly tossing out the hammer, getting Kenshin. And I think the little guys as well.
Trying to find any sort of farm that they can between these neutral camps. Elementals are just such an important, crucial part of farming in SMITE. Considering that they're up every minute and 40 seconds, they're going to disappear off the face of the earth, though, at the 10-minute mark once the Fire Giant spawns. And that's the point of getting that farm before the enemies can.
Early game so far. Going, I think, better than Elevate might have expected.
Cameron.
Well, Cameron just stuck out here. He's just going to fall down. There's no way he escapes here. That's the old AMC. A little bit of help for the mid lane, but not a big deal. Too late. However, Dr. L going to get jumped on by Jelly. Has some help for the mid lane needs. The ultimate going through Jelly. More defensive than not.
He missed the water sprout, which could have maybe set up the kill because the water sprout would have pushed the Fafnir a little bit further away. He would have did more damage with a Habwa ultimate, the way the passive works, just stacking up more magical power per ability used there. So slight missed opportunity. Couldn't really find an avenge kill on Cameron.
Yeah, I don't think that kill is going to happen in the mid lane at any point because Dr. L just doesn't have the damage yet. He needs to finish his second item. Likely going to be a Bancroft simply because that's the quickest item to really get going. And in the jungle, you're just looking to make an impact soon and quick.
And unfortunately for them, they also used that ultimate from Mythic trying to save Cameron. If that was used offensively against Jelly, that could have been a kill opportunity. Neximus took way more damage than he anticipated, and it seems Elevate's speed buff strategy has to crumble now.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about. You can't really make these invades with the early invades with the Habwa. Later invades, sure. In a couple of levels, Habwa shows up, hits you with the water hands, knocks you up, and ults, and everything's dead. The players, the buff, and he just walks away all happy-go-lucky. Right now, you're looking to jump on Habwa. Backline, both stun and the nonsense out of Soul, gonna miss. Dwarves tosses out Mythic, still very much alive. Dr. L, however, on the bad side of things, no ultimate available just yet. Gonna be coming up in a matter of seconds, but he has to exit the team fight.
The pull and the push was good to save Dr. L's life. Slight miscommunication from Obey because Jelly was focused on Mythic. He forced the beats with the knock-up root combination and then chased him out with the ultimate afterwards, but nobody from Obey followed up on the knee if they wanted to get the Habwa jungle
Cameron,
instead.
Zaxi, Cameron lands the ultimate, will be able to pick it up. Then Zaxi walks away. PB and Jelly here, so Cameron not going to be able to get too excitable.
Even with the one-level disadvantage, it's very difficult to box into an Amusin cop. He hits the cripple, you're not going to be able to use that escape ability, and then after the fact, the damage has already been used. He's going to pick up the Stinger, and you're looking at another 20-second ultimate.
Right now, everything's working out for Elevate. It's interesting to say because they're actually down 500 gold or so. And they just had 2 engagements where they didn't wind up with a kill. But looking at the draft, Tolly, I mean, this is not an early game draft. You've got Cameron, you've got Dr. L, and you've got Neximus. Nothing's supposed to really happen before level 10 anyway.
Well, if you use that Neath ultimate to your advantage, you could make some plays happen as long as Dr. L rotates accordingly. We saw actually yesterday against Strictly Business how much attention Dr. L focused in the solo lane with that Neath ultimate, really allowing Neximus to pop off there. But this game around, it hasn't been the same story. You know, there has been some attention around that speed buff, but third time, the defense was too strong from Obey Alliance. Elevate just can't use the same strategy over and over again.
Dr. L going to be the focus. PB and Jelly finds a stun, but that's about it. Dr. L coming through. There's the root coming out from Kenshin, forcing the ultimate out of Jelly to get the secondary jump. Kenshin sends him to the moon. The ultimate out of Cameron going to be strong. Backside, however, Mythic taken care of by Delta Marine. It's a 4-on-3, but with Dr. L going down here, it's going to be a 3-on-1. As Kenshin also falls to the wayside. Cameron versus 2. Looking at the support. Jelly getting ticked down. Big heal right there coming out from the Coerce. And Cameron going to avoid the nonsense out of the Hunter. But Mifflin with the kick finds the kill. Jelly hangs on.
Neximus making this rotation. He has the boulder. He throws it.
Miss.
He whiffs on everybody. And now he's going to get pulled back into danger. Knocked up, rooted. An unofficial deicide. Obey Alliance coming out strong in game 2.
Just wonderful play coming out from Obey. After that deicide, they're going to wind up with the Gold Fury. That's their prize. And 10 minutes in, 7-1. Obey are up 3,400 gold.
More importantly, yet again, is the experience, the biggest part of competitive Smite. The way you take these little advantages and just stretch them slightly. The 2-level difference between these hunters, Zaxi able to command this lead by getting the second relic. Doesn't matter about the Devil Glove stacks. He's going to be able to even start working towards that Executioner or Chin Size, depending on where he wants to go. And every level is just favoring out Obey Alliance, a 2-level lead for Mifflin.
I mean, right now on Dr. L, he can't focus on helping the team whatsoever. It's Farm City for him. He just has to level up. He just has to keep going, find himself, because the Habwa level 8, like I said a number of times, isn't going to do anything when he's even, let alone behind. The impact that this jungler brings, all you have at this point is a knock-up and a really conditional slow. When you're playing an assassin or a warrior in the jungle, you've got tools. If you fall behind, you can Thor ult and hammer out. You can drop the wall. You can slow people. You can stun people. You can ring bounce. You can take a player out. When you're Habwa, you got Water Spout.
And that's why we've seen so many warriors in the jungle, both PC and console side. The safety factor. But there's also that volatile factor from the Habwa. On the flip side...
That's what I'm saying. If he's able to farm up, man, all of a sudden it's a different character.
That's right. He could just 2 to 3 shot anybody in the late game. It doesn't matter how much magical defense you build. Dr. L, once he hits level 20, he gets that 5th item online. Yeah. He's going to be just a nightmare for Obey Alliance. And not only that, because of how much magical defense they need to build into him, now the damage from Cameron is going to start shining.
Mifflin here, the duo lane, just poking his head in. A lot of work being done already to elevate tier 1 tower in the duo lane. Almost brought down here, sitting at like 10% or so. So Elevate have gotten some decent poke on their tower. Cameron going to take some decent poke from Mifflin right there. But here comes Kenshin, going to isolate the jungler, and Zaxi shows up, just tossing the basics out, saying don't hit him, and they say fine.
I like the fact that Mifflin actually hid inside the purple buff, baiting out some Elevate members to get a little bit closer to Zax.
He misses the water cannon. Dwarf's able to get out of there. Not a good look for Elevate Dr. L today on this Habwa.
Cameron taking a lot of damage, sitting at the yellow without much mana to follow up. He's going to have to back, and look who's rotating underneath. Jelly's here. It's going to be a 3-on-1. Trying to hold this tower is Neximus.
And Kenshin here going to get hit by the ultimate, and well, I think that was predictable, totally. I'm pretty sure we all saw that one coming.
Yeah, once Jelly started to make this rotation, there was no possible way for Kenshin to be able to hold that tier 1 tower. Cameron now making this rotation happen. 3-on-1 in the duo lane, and a 2-on-0 though, as Elevate though respond in kind, getting a solo tower for their trouble.
But Obey looking at the tier 2 this time around. Cameron the only one to play defense, and he's going to be playing it in the fountain. Jelly, Mifflin, Zaxi, and Delta Marine shows up as well. The tier 2 tower at 13 minutes goes down. Obey like, no, not going to be able to take it out. But Dwarves takes out Dr. L on the other side of the map. 10 kills in total. And I spoke too soon. That tier 2 tower will stay alive for the moment.
For the moment, but honestly, it doesn't matter who goes there. I would really like to prefer Dwarves to just make that rotation happen in the dual lane. Just really sneeze at the tower really quickly, and then set up for the Goal Fury in about 1 minute and 15 seconds, and trying to get some ward vision.
Yeah, when I see a tower like that, actually minions are going to take it down, which is kind of hilarious. When I see a tower like that, I kind of sit there.
And listen to them. They're just yelling about the tower going down to minions.
Hey, man, that's winions. That's a win all the time. I get excited about that stuff. You gotta. We've seen Titans be taken down by minions.
Remember ALG.
Oh, my goodness.
Hashtag remember the Titan.
Remember the Titan. That was a good one, totally. I like that one. Fresh. Right now, any given Saturday for these two teams, 14 minutes on the clock, 11 kills. Obey have 10 of them. That's rough stuff. 5,000 gold in the lead as well. Elevate able to bite back just barely. And Obey have, it feels like their lead is so much stronger because they've had control of this the entire time.
It seems that way, right? The way they started off the game by able to invade the speed buff, find the kill onto Dwarf, successfully invading the second time around, losing a member here or there. Third time, not so much, though. Cameron missing out that stinger. Zaxy's able to farm out here. Goal Fury respawning in 5 seconds. Recognizing this, Obey Alliance are positioning themselves around this objective.
Another one of the downsides to the Mage Jungle, which is funny, it sounds like I'm being the big bully, but Mage Jungle is one of my favorite things. But there are a lot of caveats to these choices. Dr. L here, not as itemized as his opponent.
Blink onto Dr. L. Look at that defensive ultimate used very early.
Yeah, I mean, he had to. Gold Fury being started, 75% already. Obey Alliance have control of the objective. Kenshin by himself, just doing nothing, trying to bait the guys in. Meanwhile, here comes Neximus, baited him a little bit too quickly. And Kenshin falls down to the basic attacks out of Zaxi. Meanwhile, off screen, Dr. L going to be in trouble. Mythic in trouble as well. Dwarfs finding the basics, and the backflip is good. Roar will be missed, but Dwarfs chases him out. And that gives his team room to, well, deal with the Hercules coming up top. And then eventually look at the Gold Fury.
It's a 5-on-3 as Kenshin's respawning in 5 seconds. He won't get to the Gold Fury in time. Cameron needs to be careful. He's by himself. Jelly getting off the double stun while Dwarfs is going to continue the chase. This double hunter here is going to get double rooted by Dwarfs. No one else from Obey Alliance, though, want to follow up. They're very happy and contempt about that second Gold Fury.
Yep, that's all they really want. 8K, just slowly pushing their lead up. Able to maintain and, keep going with it. And that gold lead is what Obey need to really deal with this team. And I wanted to really mention the gold on Elevate. If you look at what Mifflin's building, right? Boots, and then Enchile, cheap item. The itemization coming out for the Assassins or the Warriors in the jungle, also just cheaper than what the Habwa is going to be able to buy. Book of the Dead, a little bit, you know, that's one of the less expensive items he has available to him.
And trying to survive. Normally, Habwas don't even build Book of the Dead, but considering how much focus is on this Habwa jungle, he's forced into it, unfortunately. You know, there are some other options, potentially rushing Warlock Sash, but as a jungle Habwa, that's definitely not the case.
Warlock Sash, I would even call it a non-option here. I actually don't love the Book of the Dead in this instance, and I think I might be alone on this one, just because at this point in the game, Totally, you need to be effective now, and you want to buy the cheapest stuff, because Habwa doesn't exist. This is a 5-on-4.
It's true, and it's going to be about a 3-on-2 here as the rotation from Doors make that a 5-on-2 as Delta Marine and Mifflin are positioned around this Portal Demon. The rest of Elevate, they want to go for this Tier 1 mid tower. They can't even contest this Portal Demon.
I like that play. The Tier 1 mid tower is worth more than the Portal Demon in my eyes at this point in time. If Obey doesn't get a Fire Giant off of the Portal, I think the Tier 1 tower is more important.
They're going to try to go for this Fire Giant as Neximus is here with the Boulder. The rest of Obey are going to stop DPS, though, except for Delta. He's going to still remain on. There goes the Boulder. He's actually going to try to take out Zaxi with it instead to sacrifice his own life.
Meanwhile, one more time, Cameron finds himself split pushing in a situation that he can't control. Dr. L shows up, but he'll be chased out towards the enemy base, which is not the direction he wants to head. Fire Giant leashed, healed, but picked up one more time. Half HP on the objective. Dr. L gonna fall down. The ultimate used to get through traffic. He's stunned and he's gone just easily.
This is a bait though, because look what's happening on the left-hand side. These two hunters, Mythic and Cameron, they want to get the Phoenix.
Oh, here comes Kenshin. Obey is able to take care of it, but Kenshin, he's going to try Kenshin versus the world. Couple of basics will bring him down. Delta Marine's trying to chase him. Kenshin on the right side, making his way to the mid side. Traveling all across the globe, but he comes up flat. Baby and Jelly puts him down. Number 16 for Obey Alliance. However, like you mentioned, Elevate take down the Phoenix.
The Phoenix gets taken out by these double physical hunters. It was Dr. L, it was Neximus, and Kenshin sacrificing themselves off of the earth to be able to secure the Phoenix on the left.
And that is the play you have to make if you're Elevate. Look at the player damage right now. It's abysmal. Your mid laner, your jungler, and your solo laner are combined for 12,000 damage. Mifflin alone has 10.5.
Yeah.
It's not like
that's a Robin jungle for you there. His base damage on his first ability is high enough to allow you to go for this resilient option.
And it's just, those are your damage dealers. Your mid laner and your jungle are your carries. That's what's supposed to happen. Now, Cameron, 7K, respectable. He's literally even with his opponent, sure. But everybody else on Elevate has been significantly underperforming. Cameron's the one that got that Tier 1 tower in the middle lane. Cameron's the one that split push on the left-hand side. Everyone else on Elevate is just not showing up, and that's an issue. This is a team game.
5-on-5, and that's exactly what's been working in Obey's favor. They did make that one juicy play to get the left side Phoenix, but that's been it in this 2-game set thus far. And Obey Alliance, even though they lost that left side Phoenix, they're not too worried about here. They have the Fire Giant still for 2 more minutes, and they're keeping Dwarves there to make sure that the fire minions aren't going to just sneak into that Titan room.
I do want to say there's something to be said about Elevate, and I got to tip my hat to the intelligence of the squad, understanding what fights to take and what fights not to take. That Portal Demon fight for the mid tower, screw it, you're not going to get it. And then that decision to split push on the left-hand side while you basically throw away your 3 tanks, again, I'm down. You're not winning that fight. Down 6,000 gold with an underdeveloped Habwa jungle. It's not going to happen by the Fire Giant. Just give it up and get something better. I think Elevate made the right choice identifying that they were down this far and shifted their gameplay for it totally. But unfortunately, they're down this far.
I think it just came off of the result of doing the same thing over and over again, getting read like a book in terms of invading the speed buff, right? It worked out for them the first time around, getting the kill onto Dwarfs. Obey Alliance made the necessary adjustments to prevent that from happening ever again. I would have liked to see Elevate maybe invade the red buff at the 3.5 to 4 minute mark, trying to shut out Zaxi and put Cameron in a great late game position.
I agree. I think that third invade coming out from Elevate when they got trucked, I think that was maybe not the moment where they lost the game. I think there's still more Smite to be played, despite the fact that Elevate down over 10,000 gold. But at the end of the day, you've got Habwa and an AMC. I think you're always kind of relevant as long as these items can get online. Habwa, he's trying. Definitely the moment that Elevate needed to check themselves, because they kind of wrecked themselves. They just got in trouble, man. Habwa needs to farm, dude. He's down 4 levels, and he's just not itemizing cheaply. He needs to just get effective. He hasn't done anything. Today
is a good day for Obey Alliance on this Saturday. They were splitting yesterday against Enix. They're going to walk away here probably with a 2-0 victory, and this is going to separate themselves to the rest of the pack of the group.
Yeah. I mean, Obey playing like the team they're supposed to. Elevate, however, you know, and this is a team, Elevate are not a bad squad. Cameron, again, trying to put his star boys together, if you will. And it's just, the Habwa jungle is a pick that I like. I question it in the world of early invades. And you brought up the fact, well, if you're being the aggressor, who cares? But True. The problem is when the other team just outsmarts you. And they're like, we're expecting you to be the aggressor. We'll just step on you. And now you're level 14 Habwa at 23 minutes with 3 items.
It's just not looking pretty whatsoever for Dr. L. He's been one of these players in the SCL that's been throwing a lot of confusion in picks and bans during the game plan as well, you know, between Morgan, jungle every now and again, and then some fancy stuff between solo and mid, and now jungle the way he's playing it now, and he's just getting focused and ran down.
Not enough damage. I mean, he ults Mifflin, and it just tickles him, not even. And let it be known, let it be known, I am not just a fan of the Habwa jungle, I'm a fan of Dr. L's. I like his play style. I think it's fun when how he's able to keep people on their toes. His god pool is eclectic and effective most of the time. This is just an off game for Dr. L. Unfortunately for Elevate and their fans, I think this jungle selection, not just a performance, but the selection as well, is keeping Elevate in the L column in this game.
And they just can't find a response at all here. Second Fire Giant going for Obey Alliance. They didn't get any Phoenixes with their first one simply because they had to try to hold that left side from Fire Mini Waves for just so long. But now's the time for Obey Alliance to shine and get the second win in the 2-game set.
And again, kind of I can't make any promises, but one of the last times I speak about this jungle Habwa, Obey are doing the right thing. Hebo is very similar to Hell in the sense that you have to keep him down at all points in the game. If Hebo is 0-8, but able to build 5 items, he's still going to kill you. He can be 0-10 and still kill you. But Obey Alliance has focused him every single step of the way, and that's what's giving them the lead.
A nice little root from, or a mez rather, from Kenshin, just delaying the push inevitably from Obey Alliance. The reset has happened. They're going to sustain a little bit with that Fire Giant buff onto Dwarfs, taking a big chunk of his health pool. Neximus, though, he's not been hitting these pulls in the sieges.
He's not been hitting much of anything, honestly. The level 1 fight, Neximus actually misses the driving strike, which might have even saved First Blood. Instead, just off the money, accuracy, not his strong suit just yet. Right now, mid lane Phoenix going to go down. Big ups to Dwarfs, who's focusing the objective while the team's focusing the team fight. Then he shifts gears,
Kenshin.
tosses 2 players towards
Look at that
Obey.
knockup from Kenshin, knocking up Zaxi. He's buying so much time for the rest of his team to just hold on for the moment. It's just a pure delay tactic.
Meanwhile, Obey Alliance, I mean, they get distracted towards the direction of their next objective. Left side Phoenix, already brought down to about half HP. No defense from Elevate. Left side goes down for free.
Look at this damage, though. Look at the damage. Shelly caught alone. Was that a quadruple?
That was a quad knockup.
Imagine an ultimate after that from a Habwa. That's like the dream.
Except he's level 14 with 3.1 items, and it wouldn't hurt anybody. He'd be in the middle of an entire team. They'd turn around and kill him.
Well, after the ultimate, he gets off the water cannons.
No, he doesn't. He dies.
No, he still has time to get off one water cannon.
He just dies.
Because that's on the tail end of them landing from the knock-up still.
Well, Cameron takes care of Zaxi. There's toss of 2. Forrest going to run away. Here comes Dr. L looking at 1. Gets him with the water spout. There it is. Looking for the shift here. Finally, Nexum is on the money. Cameron gets another kill. And one more time. Cameron is the heart and soul of this team. He keeps his squad in it through and through. And in this team fight, Cameron finds Jelly. That allows everything else to spiral out of control.
Tom, I think we have a game here. Elevate. They're able to take out 4 members from MOBA Alliance as Jelly has respawned. And that's the reasoning why things started to cycle out of control as Jelly took an early spill. And Elevate, they got the left side Phoenix earlier on. It has respawned now, and indeed, it will be easier to take out this time around. And now with 4 on 2, it's up to Jelly and Mifflin to hold. But now, around the corner, making the rotation, Dr. L trying to do the damage.
Keep Cameron alive. Keep Cameron alive. That's what Elevate needs to do. Can't even get the left side weakened Phoenix.
There's not too much mana, unfortunately, for Elevate. They don't have the MP5 after that team fight. No one had the time or luxury to back to base and regen their mana.
Gold Fury is a great call here. Got to make sure they're able to take care of it quickly. Mifflin and Jelly here, local. Neximus gets a driving strike on 1. Gold Fury goes down. Elevate's strong. Get the hell out of there. Elevate need to eject. Kenshin with the right idea. Neximus with the wrong idea. Jelly jumps on the team. Transformation. Obey. Chasing Elevate. Get out. Get out.
Kenshin is able to get out indeed as Jelly gets rooted into place. Mid Phoenix fell as well as the left side Phoenix. This Titan actually took a decent amount of its health off of those fire minions, but the rest of Obey Alliance are just setting themselves up for the next fire giant, respawning in 50 seconds. Unfortunately for Elevate, they found that 4 for 1, but they couldn't get a Phoenix. Traveling all the way down those lanes just too long.
Leave Neath home. Take care of all the minions. 4 versus 5 at the Fire Giant. Yay or nay? Neath ult.
It's so risky.
Because here's my deal. Let me just elevator pitch, right? Leave Neath home, 4v5 at the Fire Giant. If you 5v5 at the Fire Giant and you lose, game over. If you give up the Fire Giant, game over. If, like, no matter what, it's gonna be game over, right?
Yeah, but
Hail Mary?
You got to make a Hail Mary play, but it's just there's no possible Hail Mary plays. Left side Phoenix, mid for the Fire Giant wasn't coming up in time for them to do anyway. So this Neath play is also very beneficial in terms of sieging these Phoenixes, maybe even knocking down Fire Giant a little bit quicker. The global ultimate, you know, this late in the game doesn't really matter.
No, it's just a stun.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you're looking for.
It does no damage here.
Right now, the choice from Elevate was a little bit more safe than what I recommended. Generally going to be the case. No defense on the Fire Giant, all defense on the mid lane Phoenix, 29 minutes in.
Trying to find this middle Phoenix yet again after the respawn. Obey Alliance looking strong with their 3rd Fire Giant. As long as they don't have Jelly having an unfortunate mishap, they should get this cleanly.
Very low is the objective. Obey Alliance willing to look elsewhere. Big damage on Elevate, Kenshin and Cameron, but able to sustain so far. Bird is up. Couple of basics coming out from the Hunter, who can't find his way in. Neximus goes out. That's big damage coming out from Hobwa, Delta Marine, and Zaxi on the bad side of things. Those are the players you want to focus. Great job coming out from Elevate.
The pull, and then the knock-up from Kenshin landing back down onto Doors. Delta Marine gets taken out early in this exchange. Yet again, Obey Alliance, they lose a member very early in the siege. They did get the middle Phoenix, so the Titan of Elevate is vulnerable if they find some more picks.
Zaxi is the one that everybody needs to be looking at here. Instead, it's going to be Neximus as he gets taken out by said Zaxi. Mifflin in trouble, rooted, but able to walk away, relatively tanky. And Toli, Elevator playing a lot better right now.
Late game Hobwa, level 17. Not 3 items anymore. It's about 4.5. Rod of Tahuti is the big changing factor. That 25% magical power increase is just going to be playing huge dividends. Player damage not too high on any member here in the game, currently 31 minutes in, but look specifically at where Dr. L is lying right now at 13.5. As long as these teamfights keep lasting longer and longer, those numbers are going to grow.
Neximus is hitting his abilities, and Dr. L actually has abilities. That's the difference here for the late game Elevate. However, Dr. L already brought down to about half HP. Kenshin taken care of completely. Cameron already half as well. Elevate trying to play defense with just 1.5 players. As Dr. L has to go back to the fountain. Mythic is here and healthy. Here comes Neximus. He's going to be a good look to play defense. Coming out comes the Hobwa, tossed out towards the back line. Does have the ultimate, but he's killed before he can even hit the ground. Cameron takes care of Zaxi. Again, the leader of this team, keeping them alive. Defensive stop on the right-hand side, and you can all tip your hat to the big bug.
It's still a 2-for-1 though for Obey. They got the 2 Phoenixes earlier on. There's going to be some fire minions flooding in the left side and mid very soon here. Right side Phoenix being aggressed on. It's at about 75% health to damage. Coming on out through from Delta Marine because he's playing the Soul. He melts these Phoenixes pretty quickly.
Oh man, right side Phoenix goes down for Elevate. Things almost started to align, Toli. Game's still alive. She hasn't sung just yet, but Cameron, Dr. L, Neximus are starting to work. They're starting to get things going.
Dr. L, unfortunately, didn't have beats during that Xingqian ultimate. Had he had that, been able to avoid that initial pull, that ultimate that he died with, could have maybe took out Delta Marine, and that would have been the secondary damage dealer onto these Phoenixes. Without, without Zaxi, without Delta Marine, there is no Phoenix Siege from Obey.
Exactly. That's one of the problems coming out for the Hobwa player. Last item, I honestly would like to see a Magi's Blessing.
Yeah,
I've been asking for damage all day.
Maybe even a Wing Blade to get away from the slows from Mifflin.
Sure.
You do have the Water Carpet, though, so you don't necessarily need it, but could be a secondary option. Anything with health wouldn't really hurt Dr. L.
Yeah, if he I'm not like upset if he decides to go pure aggression.
Oh,
the miss, Dr. L, you can't do that.
No, he actually knocked him up, answered the ultimate, didn't like actually kill him completely. The Aegis bought him some time from the beneath ultimate, but finding the early pick onto Delta Marine.
That's a good look. Meanwhile, Kenshin sends one to the moon. Dr. L going to give chase up to...
Oh, he got hit by the Furious Roar and the jump. Worst answers in kind, 1-for-1, mid for mid.
Dr. L blinks away from Mifflin. Kenshin on the other side, not as lucky. Zaxi puts number 23 on the board, but plenty of people like Obey Alliance grouped up as 4. Delta Marine on the bench for the 3 here, looking for the mid lane Phoenix. Zaxi, everybody else, good shots. They have their carries. They have their damage. Dr. L trying to do what he can, but what he can do is stunted.
These damage dealers are still alive for Elevate between Cameron and Dr. L. Red buff even on the Musin Cop, forced to use that beats very early, and Obey Alliance